There's been a lot of talk recently by politicians and the media about whether children whose mothers were raped have the right to life. Today, we're going to hear from the survivors themselves and learn from those who have lived this, not just used it as political talking point. You will also hear what's being done by pregnancy centers across the country who are helping women in crisis, who are making the decision about whether to give life to another human being or to end that life. Here are their stories.
My name is Monica Kelsey. My life has a very sad beginning, but a very happy ending. My birth mother was 17 years old, she was brutally raped, and as a result became pregnant with me. But my life was protected in 1972, and so was my birth mother's. She got cancer at 23 years old and never had any more children. We are both happy that we have each other. As being a Hoosier myself, and knowing that our motto is "In God We Trust," I want to personally thank Richard Mourdock for standing up for me and my life and reminding us all that God has a plan for all of us.
Hi, my name is Sherry Eldridge from Fishers, Indiana. I was conceived in rape. I was one of those babies, and called Baby X, abandoned by my birth mother, reunited with her in midlife, only to find out that I was conceived in rape. Was this painful for me to learn about? Oh, you bet. It was really, really painful. But I knew that God the Father was the author of my life. He chose me. He loves me. And I am not a mistake. So many fellow adoptees fear and have such shame that their lives are a mistake, and they're not. And so I embrace Richard Mourdock's stand for life, and I just encourage fellow adoptees who are still living in shame to realize they're God's idea.
My name is Rebecca Kiesling, and I'm a child of a rape victim. My mother was abducted at knife point by a serial rapist. She actually went to 2 back alley abortionists, and I was almost aborted. She would have aborted me if it had been legal. But I was legally protected at the time, and I owe my life to the law being there for me because of pro-life legislators who recognized that mine was a life worth saving, even in cases of rape. I'm thankful for those heroes. Richard Mourdock is another one of those heroes, and I'm thankful that he could recognize that the rapist is not my creator, and that I'm not a product of rape, but a child of God.
My name is Wendy Sykes. I live in Indianapolis, and I'm adopted. My birth mom was 19 years old and a college student when she was violently raped. And I'll never forget the first time I met her. I found her when I was 28, and I'll never forget the first time she saw her grandchildren, my 4 children, for the first time, and the tears in her eyes and the emotion. And she turned to me and said, "It was all worth it." And so, she told me that abortion was never an option for her, but she knew that God had a plan for my life, and she was right. And I appreciate her courage and sacrifice that it took to give me life. And I appreciate people like Richard Mourdock who are willing to stand up for people like me and my future generations, my 4 children. He's not just standing up for me, he's standing up for them, because life is precious, my life is precious, their life is precious, and her sacrifice was precious.
Here in Indiana, there are dozens of pregnancy help centers across the state, staffed by people who care deeply about women who are facing this crisis. If you or someone you know is facing this difficult decision, we want to get you the help that you need. You can call today 1-800-712-HELP or go to optionsline.org and receive the information and get a 24-hour hotline answered so that we can get you the help that you need. I trust that in these last few minutes you've heard that every child, regardless of the circumstances of their conception, are made in the image and likeness of God and are just as important in God's eyes. This is very important to me because I, too, was conceived in rape. My birth mother at 15 was raped and chose to give me my life and an amazing family. My biological father is a rapist. I don't even know my ethnicity, but I am still a human being and I still have value. And I don't believe that I deserve the death penalty because of the crime of my biological father. I'm so grateful that people in public life, like Richard Mourdock, have stood up and said that my life too has value. We believe that rape is a violent act that no woman should ever have to go through, and we believe that those who commit rape or incest should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. But we also believe that a child should not be executed for the crimes of her father. Every life has value. The woman who's going through this circumstance, as well as the child whose life hangs in the balance. Can't we love them both?